Now we are going to start with a new chapter, that is the coordination compounds. But before we do that, you should actually know that as the name suggests, these coordination compounds contain the coordinate bond. So you should be familiar with the coordination bond first, because in this chapter we are going to observe the formation of the coordination bond. So as you all know that bond formation is very important, because whenever the atoms, molecules, they get linked up with the chemical bond, that is the linkage. There is a linkage between these atoms and molecules that hold them together, and that is clear, that is obviously it is a chemical bond. So when we talk of chemical bond, it is of three types, as we all know. It is ionic bond, it is covalent bond, and it is coordinate bond. Ionic bond is formed by transfer of electrons. Covalent bond is formed by mutual sharing of electrons. Coordinate bond is also formed by sharing of electrons, but here the thing is, like in the covalent, whenever the bond is formed, for example, I will explain with an example. Suppose in the formation of H2, we have one electron of hydrogen and one of hydrogen. This hydrogen will share this electron of this hydrogen, and this hydrogen is going to share the electron of this hydrogen. So as a result, one electron is contributed by this hydrogen and one electron is contributed by this hydrogen. That is why it leads to the formation of single covalent bond. The same thing happened with the double covalent bond, 2 electrons from this atom, 2 electrons from this atom. Same with the triple bond, 3 electrons from this atom and 3 electrons from this atom. So that means whenever there is a formation of covalent bond, there is mutual sharing of electrons, and the number of electrons which an atom is contributed is always the same. Suppose if this hydrogen is contributing 1, so this hydrogen is also going to contribute the same electrons. But in coordinate compounds, what we actually observe, that in coordinate compounds, the contribution for the complete shared pair is actually only through one atom. Like I will explain you. See, in coordinate bond, there will be a bond formation between two substances or two atoms or two molecules, in which suppose it is a bond formation between A and B. In this, the specific condition which is required is that one combining species should have extra electrons. So we can say it should have lone pairs, and the other combining species should be deficient in electrons. So that means one has an extra electrons and the other is deficient in electrons. So whenever there will be bond formation, the shared pair, obviously this has the extra electrons, let's say that it has 2 electrons as an extra electron, and this is deficient of electrons. So here the shared pair is contributed by one atom. That means there is no mutual sharing actually. There is sharing, but there is not the same contribution from both the reacting species. One is contributing the whole shared pair, and this is going to share its electron. Right. So this is what is a coordinate bond. So that means coordinate bond is obviously formed between two reacting species in which the one is going to have an extra electrons and one is going to have, you can say one will be deficient in electrons. So whenever there will be a bond formation, so the shared pair comes only from the one atom, and it moves towards to that shared pair move towards to that atom which is actually deficient in electrons. So that is why coordinate bond is formed by putting an arrow. As you can see, this arrow is pointing towards the deficient reactant, the reactant which is deficient in electrons, and it is starting from the place which is you can say which has an extra electron. Right. So this is a donor, this is a recipient, so you can say it is a donor recipient kind of bond, also called as dative bond, So this is what is a coordinate bond. So now, as you all know that what is coordinate bond, so obviously if we talk about the coordination compounds or the complex compounds, so as the name suggests, they must be having a coordinate bond between them. So actually we observe two kinds of salts basically, or two kinds of compounds basically. One is the coordinate compounds and other is the double salts. So what happened if we talk about double salt? So what happened that in this case, I'll just take an example, then I'll explain you. Both are addition molecular compounds. One thing, both are addition molecular compounds. Let's say example of coordination compound as K4FeCN6. This is an example of coordination compound. And double salts, let's say more salt. More salt is FeSO4 dot NH4 whole twice SO4 dot 6H2. So this is what is a Mohr salt. Both are addition molecular compounds, right? So what happened when I dissolve, when it is present in a solid state, it retains its identity like this. And when this Mohr salt is present in a solid state, it retains its identity like this Mohr salt as I wrote. But when this is dissolved in water, when it is dissolved, so what happened? It actually gets break. Like this, it gets dissociated into this, but still it retains the identity. It still retains the identity of the complex substance. But here when we dissolve in water, it gets separated and it gets releases the ions as Fe2 positive, ammonium ions, sulfate ions. So that means they both can retain their identity in the solid state, but it continue to retain the identity in the dissolved state, but in this case the Mohr salt cannot retain its identity when it is in aqueous state. So that here comes a difference between them, that a coordinate compound is the one, obviously both are addition molecular compounds, both are addition molecular compounds, right. So in coordinate compound, again it is a molecular addition compound. Double salt, again a molecular addition molecular compound. So in coordinate compound, these addition molecular compounds are going to retain their identity whether they are present in solid state as you have seen, or whether they are present in a dissolved state. Here also you can see that they separate like this. But double salts are those which can, they are again addition molecular compounds, they can retain their identity in the solid state but cannot retain in their identity in the aqueous state. So this is what is the difference between the double salts and the coordinate complex compounds or the coordinate compounds. So coming starting with the coordinate compounds, so we can say that actually that coordinate compounds are obviously the addition molecular compounds which can retain their identity in the solid state and as well as in the aqueous state, right. And what is there in the compound? The second thing what we would like to know is that what is actually there in the coordination compound. So in this there is a central metal atom or ion, and it is actually joined with many atoms, it can join with many ions or molecules. So this is what is a coordinate compound. So that means there is a central metal atom. It is a, you can say that it is a definite thing that a coordinate compound is going to possess the central metal atom or an ion, right. Means there can be a central metal atom also, or there will be a central metal ion also, and it is definitely going to link with some other groups also, and those groups can also be an atom, ion or molecule, right. And you know that they are linked actually by a specific bond, as I told you that they are linked by coordinate bond, as you all know that what is a coordinate bond now. So this is what is a coordination compound. So like example, as I already told you, K4FeCN6, right, one more NiNH3 whole twice Cl2. So there can be as many as compounds of the coordinate compounds in which the central metal atom or an ion is actually joined with the ions or in molecules by a coordinate bond. This is very must that you need to mention that they are joined by a coordinate bond. So we have few terminology which is involved in this case. So let us take an example for K4FeCN6. So what happened here, this Fe is central metal atom. This Fe is central metal atom, and these are the groups that are actually joined to the metal atom by a coordinate bond, and these are particularly called as ligands. These are particularly called as ligands, and the number which is present, or you can say the number of ligands which are actually joined with the metal atom is called as coordination number. And this ion which is present, before the bracket, not included in the back bracket actually, this is called as counter ion. And this whole thing, including the central metal atom with the ligands, is called as coordination sphere. Right. So, this is what is the basic terms which we are going to use in this chapter. A central metal atom can be an ion also. These are the you can say groups which are actually attached to the central metal atom. They are called as ligands actually, and ligands can be of many types, we will be discussing now. And the number of ligands which are actually joined with the metal atom indicates the coordination number, and this ion which is present not included in a bracket actually is called as counter ion, and this whole thing in which there is a central metal atom with the ligands, it indicates the coordination sphere. So, this is the general you can say the basic introduction of this chapter. I think you got it in a direct right manner. So, you should know that what actually is a coordinate bond. I think it's clear that this is a kind of bond in which the one atom is going to contribute the shared pair and the other is actually deficient in the electron. So, there is no mutual sharing actually, one is donating and one is just taking it. And likewise, I will just show you one coordinate bond also, so that it should be clear in your mind that how it is formed. Let us say we have ammonia, it is something like this. We know that it possesses an extra electron, that is, it possesses a lone pair. So, if I want to react it with H positive, so obviously what is going to happen, it has an excess electrons and it is deficient in electrons. So, this shared pair, it is going to contribute towards this. This arrow indicates a coordinate bond and it leads to the formation of ammonium ions. So, likewise you can form the hydronium ion, ammonium ion, a lot more, right. So, now to be coming on to the different type of compounds, as I told you, we have double salts and coordinate compounds. Both are addition molecular compounds, but the difference is that they retain their identity in the solid as well as in aqueous state. They can retain their identity only in the solid state, right. Example, Mohr salt, example, you know that. So, what is there in a coordinate compound? There is a metal atom joined with the different other groups. The central metal can be an atom, can be an ion, and the groups which are actually joined again can be an ions, can be a molecule, like that, and they are strictly joined by a coordinate bond, right. So, the examples, and then I told you that there are the specific terms which we will be using. This is a central metal atom, these are the ligands, the groups which are actually joined to the metal atom, and the number by which they are joined is a coordination number. This metal atom with ligands is a coordination sphere, and this K4 which is not included in a bracket is counter ion. So, we are just going to start with the terminology now. I think this basic introduction is clear to you, so just look at the board.